Hope everybody's doing really well. We'll be going live in just a few minutes. Waiting for a few others to hop on. I forgot to notify the band that I was doing this, so I just sent them a quick text to let them know we're doing really well. We'll be going live in just a few minutes. Kind of first time doing this, right? Everybody's doing really well. Notify the band that I was doing this, so I just sent them a quick text. We've been trying to work on some songs as a band, and I forgot to notify the band that I was doing this, so I just sent them a quick text. Coronavirus stuff going on. We haven't had a chance to get together, so I just got these songs that we started a few months ago, and we haven't had time to finish. So I got a little bit about the band that I was doing this, so I just shared one quick have with you guys. Live in just a few minutes, and I'm just going to go through the track and spin it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. On this particular track, song title. This song. And of course, since this is the first time, we might end up with some technical difficulties on audio and video here, so bear with me. We'll be going on less than 5 minutes, promise. I'm just waiting for a couple of the band members, hopefully, to get on, see if they're able to make it. Going to play a quick section of the song just to make sure everything's working on the audio end when we get started. just got the audio playing right now, the song instrumental in the background, just trying to check levels before we kind of get started. So this is one of the new songs we've been working on. Song title is Stay. We've got 3 songs that we've been in the studio recording and working on, trying to get it mixed out. And obviously we haven't been able to get together as a band. So we're at a point now on a couple of these songs where we just have vocals and some finishing touches, a couple guitar parts, background vocals and stuff to add to them. So this particular song, Stay, is the one that we have the closest to being done. And I think we've got the audio levels working okay. I'm hoping you can hear me. I've got the volume of the music down. Kind of my first time doing this. I'm trying to run the live stream with the audio stream through Logic at the same time and talk to you guys and make sure that I'm not sending you the wrong audio or the wrong video feed. So Zeke hopped on. Zeke's on. Thank you, Zeke. Sorry for the last minute notice, man. I just texted you and JJ and Emily and Oscar to see if y'all could hop on. This was kind of I was messing with it. It went live and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. I'll let this track finish running and then we'll start from the very beginning. All right. Thanks for joining. This is going to be hoping to do a couple more of these and maybe do a few of them with the band. I'm going to see if they can hop in. We'll do like a Zoom session and see if they can join so they can chime in on some parts too. So my name is Brock. Most of you know who I am if you're watching me through Facebook or YouTube. But I'm in a band called Red Iris, and we've been working on music, some new tracks. Actually, we've got a CD out on Spotify and Pandora and all those other music streaming platforms with a couple of tracks, kind of an EP that we put out. I think it's been maybe 2 years ago. Probably. So we've got some new material. We've got actually probably about 10 songs, additional to songs we want to record. And we were invited to do a session over at R&R Studios with Roger, who has a amazing setup at his house. He does a live streaming event. It's pretty much watching a live concert. And he invited us to come out and we did a couple songs. And then he was generous enough to give us the audio tracks, which we then dumped in to Logic at my place, and from there we just started mixing and adding parts to it, redoing vocals, and Zeke would come over, redo guitar parts, and Oscar coming punching in some bass parts. JJ is so wonderfully gifted that he made no mistakes, so the drums are perfect. But we were able to get to the point where we were like, hey, let's just finish these songs out and release them as well. So we were making some really good progress considering, you know, a schedule of Emily's work schedule, Jay's work schedule, Zeke's, Oscar's, and then myself. You know, we've all got pretty busy schedules. So trying to coordinate time to get together while we're also trying to get some practices in for some gigs that we had, made it for a tough time to actually finish up the song. So it was kind of dragging, but we were making progress. And then, of course, you know, coronavirus rolls in and now we've got these songs sitting in my computer that we haven't really been able to do anything with, and so decided to I spent a little bit of time working on the 3 songs. We've got Stay, which is the one we're going to be listening to right now. We have Arise, and what is the third song? Witching Hour. Sorry. Those are the 3 songs that we have coming up next, and kind of cool thing is we're getting a bunch of airplay overseas on our EP. So they've been playing some of the songs off of our original EP out there, and you know, Leave It to Red Iris to get really popular overseas, and hopefully we can get some of that to shift over here to the States. But it's a pretty exciting thing to hear them play some of our songs and listen to some of the DJs really give some amazing compliments about how they like our music and the sound that we have. So, idea here is just I'm gonna share some of the. Actually, those who listened from the very beginning probably heard the track. I played kind of the track without Emily's vocal, mainly because it's not the vocal that we're gonna keep. Of all the things that you're gonna hear right now, probably the vocal track and maybe a few guitar parts still need work. So they're kind of like I would say they're scratch tracks. They're items we're gonna change up. But I still, wanted to find a way to share it with you because it's music we're super proud of. We poured in a lot of hard work into these songs, from the writing of the music to lyrics to getting to the point to record. And it's a struggle trying to stay with your busy schedule, and then at the end of the workday, trying to get into the studio and spend a couple hours recording when you're exhausted, just pretty much want to go home. So what I've got now is I'm sharing my screen with the Logic Pro with the session there. Let me get this stuff out of the way so you can see a little bit better. And we have a total of, I don't know how many tracks we have here. Let me scroll down, but within this particular song, we have got 44 tracks of music inside here that are making up this entire song. So I know my screen that's shared might be a little bit tough to actually see what's going on because it's so much information in one little section. But if you start from the top, I'm trying to get into the habit of organizing my songs in a certain way so they make some sense. And this session, unfortunately, is not quite organized very well. But up on the top, we'll have usually the drums. I try and put all the drums together. And then from the drums, I usually roll into bass. And then from bass, I usually go to guitars. And then from that point, it's all mixed up. I got piano, I have strings, I have background vocals, some keyboard parts, acoustic guitars, and then Zeke's guitars. So we got some lead stuff here, and then we have some background vocals, and then Emily's vocals. And then we're still waiting for Zeke's vocals to come in here. But up on the top, I'll just solo some of the drum stuff so you can hear. These are the tracks that we got over at R&R Studio. And I'll just take the drums, just so you can hear the drums. There's a keyboard intro that comes in that rolls in before the drums start, and the drums kick in here. And if I come over to the drum tracks, you'll see some of the stuff we have going on. We've got some virtual mix bus equipment, some reverb. Not a whole lot of effects actually on the drums. They sounded pretty good. We are using some drum samples on the kick and on the snare to try and give it a little more bump. But other than that, I didn't do too much to it. There's still some stuff on the kick and the snare that I'd like to maybe improve. But that is overall what we have on that section there. Bass. We had an original bass line on this, which is... Let's see, which one is the original bass? That may have been it. I don't recall which was the original now. Maybe that was the original one. And then we kind of, after spending some time listening to the song, we thought, well, it might need something different on a couple of the parts. So Oscar came in and we've got, I think this is the track that we're using now. There's some changes that come in on the choruses. So I'm going to stop it there and I'll bring in a little more of the overall sound. Let me take all this solo stuff out. I have a control surface in front of me, but I have so many damn buttons and knobs and screens going on right now that I'm just kind of using my mouse so I don't get too lost here. But at the very beginning of the song, we're trying to find something to start the song out, something to give it some kind of character. And what I ultimately ended up doing was taking one of Zeke's guitar tracks and then I reversed it and added a pad sound to it. So that's what you're hearing right there. So if you're looking at this, you'll see that this track here is pretty much this track right above it. So 28 is really the same thing as track 27, but it is reversed. So you see how it kind of fades in and gets strong. And if you look at the original one, you see how it comes in really strong and does a fade out. So I just took the exact same track. I mean, this is done by a bunch of other people who are mixing and producing music and stuff. It's not anything that I created by any means, but trying to find something to make a little to give the intro of the song a little character. So did that, and then somewhere in here is a pad of some type that I added. I don't remember where it was at. It might be this one here, this retro. Let's see if this one's it. I think this is the sound. Yeah, so that's that one sound you can kind of hear layered with the actual guitar, the reversed guitar. So together they sound like that. And then before it gets to too crazy with the reversal, I do a quick automated fade on it. So if you watch the faders here, you'll see how this track, which is the one that he played and it's normal, and then this track that is reversed, you'll see that these two volumes will kind of go in opposite directions as they are being automated for the volume control. That one goes up and the reverse one comes down. A little something we added to the beginning. That's just stuff that I guess by spending time and messing with the songs, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have all the gear at my house. I'm able to kind of spend extra time with it that the other band members don't get to. So I've probably fooled around with all these songs the most and added things and put stuff in the songs and then listened to it the next day and quickly deleted it before the band members heard it because I didn't think it was very good. But adding stuff like that inside the track, this acoustic track was not. This was not originally in the song. We didn't record that at R&R, so I did that live here. We're just listening to the songs and thinking, you know, they needed a little something to bring a little more body into the song. And you'll hear the acoustic come in here. And there's some strings here. Piano. Then I added all these piano parts into it. And I'll bring Emily's vocals in.
You're gonna leave me dry. What are you gonna say when you don't really care? If I'm standing there, baby, I'll be gone. Who are you gonna blame? Who's gonna tell me?
There's the intro lead that Zeke played there. It's coming in.
Who's gonna let it run, let it run? When you take bad and good and everything that I could have ever given to you, what are you gonna say when you don't really see that it was always here? Maybe I'll be gone.
You know, when I was listening to that, I was thinking we need to release this song, do an acoustic version of the song. It sounded so good with just the piano, some acoustic, and I think I threw the bass in when I was listening to it, and a couple of the guitar parts in there, but it sounded really good. Or I thought it sounded really good. I'm not sure who is watching still, but I got a few more things I wanted to go over. Let me get this solo stuff out of here.
Baby, I'm done. Who's gonna tell me no? Who's gonna feel my love? Who's gonna let it run, let it run?
That's pretty much everything in the song all at once.
Who's gonna save your soul? Who's gonna steal your soul? Who's gonna let it down, oh, let it down? Stay with me.
So maybe let's see.
Baby, won't you just stay with me?
I I just thought of something. I'm going to come back here to this part of the song and I'm going to isolate some stuff that we did here. Solo this, solo this. Um, Crap, what else? Where else do we add? Maybe this piece here. And maybe this. So these are some backing vocals that we've added. We're kind of been up in the air on what to add for backing vocals on some of the songs because we play these songs live and we do certain parts, and Zeke and I do some backing stuff on it, but for the most part, I think I don't know that we honestly do the exact same thing. I know that I usually don't. I kind of go with whatever I'm feeling at the time. So I don't always sing the exact same thing. So as we were getting to the point where we were going to start adding some of this stuff into the song, we were thinking of, okay, what are we going to do here for these parts? And we've got a friend who's supposed to maybe help us out on some stuff. But if you listen to this is some stuff that I added. I think maybe Emma, my oldest daughter, is in here adding something. And then I added a couple layers as well. Let me see what I haven't listened to it by itself. It might sound really bad, but let's see what it sounds like.
Here, maybe I'll be gone. Baby, I'm done. Who's gonna tell me no? Who's gonna fill my house? Who's gonna let it run? Let you run?
That's Emma doing a oh in the background.
Who's gonna save your soul? Who's gonna steal your show? Who's gonna let me down? Oh, let me down. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Baby, won't you just stay with me? Stay with me. Stay with me.
So yeah, that's Emma and that's me on 2 tracks doing that. So I'm going to rewind it and see if you can hear that inside the mix now. See what you think. See how it sounds. I have them kind of tucked in the back right now because I haven't really finished messing with those vocals, and they probably need a little bit of pitch correction and some EQ and effects on it. But see if you can hear them.
Baby, I'll be gone. Baby, I'm done. Who's gonna tell me no? Who's gonna fill my world?
There's that track. It's just enough in the back to kind of bring that part up some. It's not really supposed to stand out. These are the parts. Baby, won't you just stay? So yeah, that's one part that I thought I'd share with you guys. What else? We got a lot of guitar parts from Zeke that he added some stuff in here. We have some O's. What is this here? Let me listen to what this piece is here. Oh yeah, so I added this kind of a keyboard part in the background. I thought it went well with the strings together, and then you punched in the piano with it. So yeah, that's one of the part I want to share with you was the keyboard part. I've also got some stuff that we're doing on. So I played electric guitar when we recorded the session at R&R, and then I kept that track, but we're not that part. My guitar track, if you look at this, it's track 15. This entire track, actually, I've got it muted almost throughout the whole song, and I don't bring it in until after the break. The break happens right about here. You'll see where it comes in, because it seemed like the song with all the keyboard parts, and then really the song is Emily's vocals and the lyrics. So we didn't want to crowd it too much. It was funny because as we were working on these songs, I think we're all kind of thinking the same thing, that there was too many words, or there was maybe we could cut out some music parts in it. Like there was maybe some stuff that we were playing too much, and I think it's from playing the songs live. You're trying to fill a certain space with sound when you're playing live, but then when you're trying to record this song to producing the song to put it out on airplay and streaming media platforms, it seems like you kind of all of a sudden you start to be really stingy with what makes it in the song. So we started kind of cutting out stuff from the actual track to try and make the song sound a little bit better and make it stand out. So in this particular part here, if I solo this guitar part, it doesn't kick in till the break, so it's dead here, and then it comes in right on the break. And then you start to hear that guitar part. The idea was to maybe fatten that part up of the song, because that's kind of after the break. So when that break kicks in, we kind of want to build a certain level of energy that kind of comes up. So that's why we brought that guitar in. I think there's still a few things I want to add as far as keyboards and piano to maybe make that part even stand out more. And then obviously when we do our vocals and final vocals for that, I think we're going to do something kind of cool to take that last part of the song out. So I'm going to play it right before the break, I'll play it right before Zeke's solo. And I think on that break, there's actually one guitar part. There's this one guitar part, which is probably this little section here on number 30 that we definitely are going to do something different with, because as the solo starts to wind down, we have this kind of a note that Zeke bends and holds, and it sounded good at the time, and it still does sound good, but it's lacking. It needs a little more. What's the word? It needs more balls, honestly. It just needs more weight to it. So I'll play from the solo with everything. I won't mute anything out. I'll play it all, and then play through the break so you can hear when that one guitar part of mine comes in. And then you'll see the ending of the song. At the ending, there's a different string patch that I did. So I'll isolate these two sections real quick so you can hear them by themselves, so you'll know what to listen for when I'm playing everything together. But this is just piano and strings that I added for the outro of the song. That kind of takes the song out there. That's the tail end of the song. And then that one sound that I had at the very beginning with the reverse guitar part, I brought that in at the end, I think. That's going to be track 24, this little section that's coming up here. Yeah, you should hear that sound. There's that kind of weird pad sound that comes in with kind of the fade out. So yeah, let me take the solo off. Let me go right before, so everything is playing, and let me go right before the Zeke solo and let you hear that part of the song. Hey Zeke, I don't know if you're still listening. I just realized that we've been playing that, and that's the new bass line that Oscar added to the song. So I don't know if you heard that part, but it comes in here on this section, I think. Baby, won't you just stay with me? Yeah, right here. It's gonna come in. You'll hear he goes. It's kind of he does that little walk up and down part of it on the bass. Stay with me. Baby, won't you just stay with me? think it fits pretty good. He actually does it a couple times through the song. That's the one big change that he made when he came over and redid that one bass line. Let's see what else. I'm not sure if anybody else is watching. Those that came in, I appreciate you stopping in. And if you like this, I'll try and do a few more of them. We've got, like I said, we've got two other songs that we're really close to finishing up. This is the one that's the most closest to being completed. I think we've got a few guitar parts, like I said, a couple of keyboard parts. The main thing is really vocals, and and then we'll be able to move on to the next one. But I think this one is really close to being done. So I will let the song play from beginning to end without me just rambling, and talking on, so you can hear it. So this is song title is "Stay." This is hopefully going to be the next song that we put out. We're working on another EP that will probably have 3 or 4 songs, depending on how much material we're able to put together. I think as a band, we're all pretty anxious to put something out because we haven't been able to put anything out new. And now that we have some airplay going on overseas, we'd like to get them some new material. Obviously, once this virus stuff is over, we're ready to get out and play as well. We've got some new songs that we haven't really been able to share at any of our live shows. So hopefully you'll be able to see this song or hear this song on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and all those platforms as soon as we're able to finish it up, get it done. We're going to send it off to get it mastered. I forgot the name of the group that are mastering, but they've done some stuff for a good friend of ours and did a really phenomenal job with the overall sound. So we're going to finish mixing here probably. We're doing all the recording here. This is my kind of little home studio here. So we'll do all the recording here, finish all the mixing here, and then move on to the next 2 songs. And then once this one's done, we'll probably send this one off to get mastered while we move on to the next track, so that we can maybe release, hopefully we can release Stay while we're working on Arise and then Witching Hour, or Witching Hour and then Arise. I'm not sure what order we're going to do the next 2 songs in. And then we're thinking about, we've got a couple of other songs that we do from our live sets that we're really anxious to try and record, because they always seem to get a lot of attention when we play them live. So I don't know if we're going to go back to R&R to try and do another show with him maybe, and have him record us again, and maybe grab those tracks and bring them over here. My place is not really set up to record drums. I do have a room adjacent to this that's full of music gear, and that I've thought about putting the drum kit and set it up and then seeing if we can track here. But honestly, I'd just prefer to go somewhere else where they have everything set up and mic'd up, and let us just go in and play, and then just get the audio tracks. It's just less work for me, honestly. And I think it helps move the process on a lot quicker than if we tried to do everything from beginning to end here. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I have not been on Facebook in a long time, but this kind of forced me to get back on, because a lot of Michelle's family is not on Instagram, and we did kind of a live show on my Instagram yesterday, just doing some songs, and we're going to do one tonight, I think. I think we're supposed to do one tonight around 9 o'clock Central Time, maybe. We're doing like kind of a Christian rock kind of cover tune, so we're going to pick a couple songs and do them. And she wanted to do it on Facebook because all her family's on Facebook, so I had to go reset my Facebook password and get back into my account so that I can stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So let me start from the beginning. Thanks for listening again. Thanks for watching. I'll do some more of these. I've got some other material that's not Red Iris that I'd like to share with you guys, so may do a couple of those as well. But this is Stay, Red Iris, JJ on drums, Zeke on guitar, Oscar on bass, Emily on vocals, and me on guitar and keyboards. Thanks for listening. I'll let the song play from the beginning, and enjoy.
When you take back
Thanks for watching, y'all.